Fire in the hill. In the pines of Idaho, Weaver built his stand, a cabin for his family, a rifle in his hand. Entrapment on a shotgun, the marshals laid the snare. They marked him as an outlaw for choosing to live there. August brought the fire, Sam Weaver hit the ground. His dog was shot beside him, no warning, just a sound. Vicky stood with baby in the cabin door that day. A sniper's round from Horiuchi took her life away. Yeah, the hills turned red, the news turned black, but the Justice Department never looked back. Down in Texas, Koresh preached the end of days. Families gathered faithful in their holy place. But Rawson came with whispering to the press, calling them a cult so the feds could make a mess. NBC cameras fear on replay, the ATF itching for a raid that day. Helicopters swarming, tanks broken, children crying loud through the smoke within. Janet Reno's pen made the order true, but Clinton's hand signed the raid through. 82 bodies in the fire remain, charred in the chapel while America was shamed. And the flames rose high, the nation wept, but the broadcast told the lies they kept. The truck exploded, children gone, but one man's face couldn't stand alone. Witnesses whispered of a second hand, a shadow fleeing through the dust and sand. The papers wrote McVeigh bold and clean, but survivors swore there was more unseen. Guided by forces he could never name, a fall guy chosen for a deeper game. A pale horse rider on the radio waves, William Cooper spoke of the graves. Ruby Ridge, Waco, the lies they spun, he warned the world what was still to come. False flags rising, freedom betrayed, 9/11 visions in the words he laid. Branded a madman, hunted, despised, but the truth he told still burns in our eyes. November night, Arizona ground, police at his door, shots rang out loud. Silenced his voice, but the book remains, every page carved with the people's pain. Fire in the hills, smoke in the sky, Ruby Ridge shadows where the children died. Waco burned and the city cried, but the truth keeps living though the prophets died. From Clinton's pen to the years ahead, the blood runs deep in the trails of the dead. Fire in the hills, blood in the sand, the people betrayed by their own command.
Cohen is a licensed private investigator and the owner of Justice Warrior Investigations. She holds a master's degree in criminal justice, a bachelor's in legal studies, and an associate's in paralegal studies. Heather first gained national recognition on the 2021 true crime series Secrets, Lies, and Private Eyes, and today she continues her mission as the co-host of the Justice Warriors podcast. Through her work, she gives voices to victims' families, uncovers overlooked evidence, and challenges the narratives that often leave the truth in the dark. Tracy Ellis holds an associate's degree in business and a bachelor's in psychology. She's an investigative journalist, podcast host, and co-author with Heather Cohen of Swift Injustice, Framed in the Smokies, and author of the Holly Bobo Trial Guide. Tracy brings a careful investigative lens to every story featured on the Justice Warriors podcast, dedicated to amplifying victims' voices and uncovering the facts behind unsolved cases. Get ready for another riveting episode of the Justice Warriors podcast.
Hey guys, how are you today? Heather here and Trey.
Hello.
We're doing a redo of yesterday. So, how are you today, Tracy?
Getting over the back edit craziness. We're
Yeah.
back at it.
Back at it, for sure. So today we're going to be talking about the murder of Birdie Terry and the subsequent investigation I've been involved in. Um, so we're going to start with I need to let you guys know about this case because a lot of you guys down there in the West Tennessee area don't seem to be familiar with this case. It was January 10th, 2021. Miss Birdie Terry was shot and killed in her driveway in the early morning hours. And by the way, guys, just so you know, you can message us in the chat too if you have any questions. Let's see. I see we just got a message. So, but she
Are those,
was,
is that chat visible?
it is, it is. You just have to click over on the right where it says chat, has a little bubble. Um, But anyways, yes, Miss Birdie Terry was shot and killed in the early morning hours. I believe the 1 o'clock hour. She was a food steward at the Northwest Prison. I've talked to a lot of people about Miss Birdie Terry. She seems to have been a very nice woman. People respected her. People liked her. She was several of the employees of the Northwest Prison that I've talked to have said that, you know, different people had told her, Birdie, come in here, do your job, mind your business, keep your mouth shut. But Birdie was somebody who played by the book. She played by the rules. And from what I'm being told, she was somebody who would report things when there were things on inside the prison that were not good. So there was some issues in the kitchen, some some drugs that were found. I was told in the dry food pantry. Miss Birdie had reported these things, and there were people who obviously, got in trouble for that. So that was something that we believe ultimately led to her death. Unfortunately, I believe strongly that the wrong people were convicted for this crime. And until the right people are convicted, until the truth comes out, then there's no justice. We want to extend our heartfelt condolences to the family of Birdie Terry. We mean no disrespect by this, but we also believe strongly that when the wrong people are convicted, that we're only creating more victims. We're not getting true justice. So I did want to share with you guys some of the evidence that was presented at the trial. It is concerning to know that people can be convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison on essentially no evidence proving that they are the individuals who committed the crime. So I'm going to share my screen and see if this works. Okay. Yeah. Um, can you see what I just opened up? Okay, so I want to show you. Tracy, can you see that picture that I just opened up? Tracy.
Can you hear me?
No, I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Did you see the screen? Could you see that picture I just opened?
no, all I see is a duplicate of you and I twice. Just
Right.
duplicate
Okay.
and duplicate.
This is not working. Hold on one second. This is all right, I'm gonna try this a different way, I guess.
I'm trying to see. Okay.
I thought I could share is not sharing the screen behind the screen. It's only sharing the internet. Oh, here we go. I got it. Sorry. Okay. Now we got it. Boom.
Okay.
All right. So this here is a picture of Michelle Basham's vehicle at the time. Do you see that?
Yes, I see it. It's
Okay.
small, but I see it.
It was a Kia Optima. It's as you
Can
can
you make
see,
it
it's
larger? Yeah, there you go.
yeah. It's a dark. I don't know what color that is. That almost looks maroon.
I was thinking charcoal looking, but the front of
Maybe.
it is red because it looks like there's a red car parked in front of it. And that's the,
Oh. Okay. Well, that is her car. And these are the pictures that they had of the vehicle. Okay, so there's the vehicle. This is Miss Birdie Terry's house here, and the vehicle is stopped there at that stop sign. Um, Here's another picture of the vehicle. These are just screenshots. Obviously, they had videos, but these are the shots that they took still shots in order to. So there's another one. That's right there. That's Birdie Terry's house there, and the car is. So the car turned up here where you can't see that. When we saw it stopped earlier, that was up here. It turned and came down, and it stopped about right there and stayed there for about a minute and then proceeded. And in that time that it was stopped, and then after it went on, that would be the approximate time that she was shot right around here.
okay, so she wasn't shot behind where this car is. Um,
No,
to the right, she was to the rear.
over here.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So then, let's see, here's another one. So they had several cameras. This is the DQ. The other pictures were from the Head Start. And then they've got this one that was cameras on an individual's home. And this is a man running through the backyard. They also had a video of an individual wearing what looked like a black hoodie who was walking down the street. But as you can see, you can't tell who that is. There's no way. You
I
can't tell who
can
that
see
is.
the person. Can we bring that one back?
Yeah.
Okay, where's the Oh, I see.
So you
Yes.
can see the shoes.
And that's
See the
walking. That's
shoes.
not anybody running.
Well, they
And
were running, and I think you could tell they were
oh,
running if it was the video.
I got you. And the toes of the shoe are very, very beat up. Where is that?
I don't know if they're beat up or if there's just like it looks like they're lighter color with like a black. It almost looks like they're like tan shoes or gray with like a black right
Lace
there.
up and
Not lace up, but like design on the side,
mm-hmm.
maybe with a black sole. It could be a boot.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's a work boot, like a oh, steel toe shoes kind of. They look steel
It
toed
could be.
almost.
I don't think there was, well, maybe they could have been. But they look to me, and it's hard to tell. But the funny thing is that the most distinct thing about that picture is the shoe. Like everything else is so blurry and so hard to distinguish, but the shoe is it's pretty clear, I think. But with that being said, that is really all they had. You couldn't tell who the people were. Um, yeah, you couldn't really tell anything.
And this was 4 years ago?
January 10th, my birthday, 2021. So I interviewed some of the jurors on this case, and what I was told by the jurors, that what convinced them was the issue about the light that the prosecution pointed out. Okay, so allegedly there was well, I guess you could probably tell from the videos, there's a fog light out on the vehicle. And they claimed that Michelle Basham had a fog light out on her car that she had repaired. Now, I've talked to her mother extensively about this, and her mother insists that the fog light was never out. They never replaced the fog light. That didn't happen. So there's that, but I think that the prosecution, that was the one thing that they really sold them on her guilt, and that was her vehicle, was this allegation about the fog light. But as I said, and I'll pull this back up, but as I said, looking at this vehicle, and I'll zoom in on it some more. I hope is it big enough to where you can actually see it, Tracy?
Just a little bit bigger. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Um,
I mean, and that looks. Let's look at the shape
yeah.
of her car. Because that to me looks
Can
more
you
like
open both?
yeah.
The front of it and the side?
Yeah, let me put them kind of side by side here.
Let's see.
Oh, and I wish I had a side view of it. Oops, sorry guys. I
Yeah.
wish I had a side view of the car.
What is
Um,
let me see. What is the make and model again?
hers is
Kia?
a Kia Optima.
Op with a O or Ultima with a U or an
Optima.
A?
Optima. Oh,
Okay, there it is. What
I
year?
don't. So I just switched from a Mac to a PC, and as you can tell, I am struggling, y'all.
Okay, what year?
Um, I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what year that is.
Look at it, it's got white windshield wipers.
Are they white, or is it just like some sort of reflection?
No, those are white.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, those are like some type of fancy dancy notebook.
Yeah, they said it was the lights that sold them.
Okay.
And
That's the light is on the wipers?
no.
Oh, okay.
No, but there was one juror that I spoke with that said that she was not convinced. She was the alternate, and she was dismissed. She was lucky alternate. She was lucky number 14. So she didn't end up deliberating. She felt like if she had, she probably would have hung the jury because she was not convinced. But it seems like out of all of the jurors, she seemed to be the only one that was not absolutely sold that it is the same vehicle and that it was them that did it. I mean,
Okay, now
this is what we are convicting people of murder on and sending them away for life. This right here,
I wish I had
basically.
a side view of this Kia over here. I can't even see. Can you bring it down to see the fog lights? The other one. So that would be right there. That's a shine. That's the, I would think these are the fog lights here, or there's a parking blinker lights. Let's see.
So here's the next part too, is that her friend Shannon Patterson was with her all weekend. Um, you know, so many of you have seen the video that I played of the Dyer County Sheriff's Office's interview of Ricky Sipes and how I really pointed out that they were controlling that narrative and basically, speaking for him. And I feel by looking at, Shannon Patterson's interviews as well, that it was very similar in a lot of ways. Now, this was not Dyer County, so I'm not, it was actually Lake County. But it was the same sort of vibe, just that, Shannon Patterson was kind of being just led to, essentially told what to say. But so the other defendant on this case was Jared Scott. Okay, so Michelle Basham and Jared Scott were both convicted. The narrative that the prosecution sold to the jury was that Michelle Basham had driven Jared Scott to the crime scene where Birdie Terry was shot and killed there in Tiptonville, Tennessee, Lake County. That she drove him, and even though they know that she did not kill Birdie Terry, their point was that by driving Jared Scott, that she was also criminally liable for the murder. So Jared and Michelle were both convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. Jared Scott, bless his heart, I interviewed some people about him, and he had been assaulted recently within a couple weeks of this incident. He had been assaulted, and he told somebody that he had committed this crime. And when I first heard that, I thought, what is wrong with him? He's dumb, or he's mental or something. And then I heard the backstory, and even though most logical people would never say they killed somebody that they didn't kill, I believe that Jared Scott was trying to get some street cred and basically trying to come across hard so that these people would not mess with him anymore. I do not believe that Jared Scott did it. I don't believe that Michelle Basham had anything to do with it. I believe wholeheartedly that it was a hit from the prison. When I interviewed employees of the prison, there were a couple that knew about the incident in the kitchen where Miss Birdie Terry had made some enemies. And one of the employees who happened to have a pretty, he was a superior there, okay, at the prison. And he told me that word inside the prison was that it was a gangster disciple hit and that the Aryans carried it out. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, I suppose there could be some sort of an alliance with the gangster disciples and the Aryans. I wouldn't know enough about the gangs to really,
Venture a guess.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know if that's actually something that they do. But I suppose anything's possible. And if it was a hit, then that means somebody got paid to do it. But some of these employees of the prison that I interviewed were really saying quite a bit about
I'm
the
confused.
administration.
I'm
What's that?
confused. I'm very, very confused.
What? Very, very, not just a little. What are you confused about?
Very, very confused about the whole. If they caught that vehicle on camera, then why didn't they catch the murder on camera?
Well, as you can see, I'll pull this up again. Um, it was dark over there, and just, as far as like the angle is concerned, it happened back in here. I believe when I watched the video, I believe you could see, like the
You saw
sparks,
somebody
you
get
could.
you saw somebody get out of the car.
No, well, the person gets out of the car while the car is parked up here, and it looks like they walk down this way.
So
But
why would
then,
they sit and park the car in front of the place if they're gonna get out there? That makes no sense to me. None.
well, they didn't park the car in front of the place.
So
That's
that's
just them
driving.
that's them driving by.
Okay. Okay. I feel a lot less very, very confused then. That makes a,
Okay.
you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They stop they park up here. They just stop up here. And then
Right.
somebody gets out and they're kind of and then you see
Like,
some, the like gunshots. You see the lights or light over here, where she is shot, and then the car drives, and then you've got the video of the guy running through the backyard, which the guy running through the backyard doesn't even look like the same person as the person you see walking in front
so the
of the
car's
house.
gone by the time all that is happening.
The car,
It's traveling.
it seems that it was like the car dropped somebody off and then drove around and maybe picked him back up.
So then the shooting happened after the car left.
No, no.
The shooting happened when the car left?
The shooting, I believe, happened while the car was like parked up on the corner.
Okay. So why didn't they just get back in the car? Why did he run elsewhere?
Well, we don't know that they did or didn't, because we don't have a video of that. We don't have we don't see anybody getting back in the car. Yeah, we
I'm
don't we
just
don't have video.
saying,
We don't
to
have
me,
video of that. We have the video of the person walking down the street, and then we have the video of the person running through the backyard, and they don't look like the same people. One of the jurors actually explained to me that she felt that the person walking down the street in the black hoodie appeared to be wearing a black hoodie and appeared to be taller and thinner. And then the person that we see running through the backyard looks to be a little thicker and shorter.
and
And
wearing a white
also
shirt.
also appears to be wearing different colored clothing. But I've had a conversation about that too, and sometimes in the dark, like, those cameras, um
True, but not black and white. Because we're
I
talking
don't
black
know.
and
I
white.
don't I don't know. I did have somebody tell me that on their deer cam footage sometimes like dark clothing could even look white. So it's possible,
I can understand
I
that
guess.
if the shoes didn't show up with black and white, dark and light.
Right. Or not black and white, but black in
Dark
a
and
lighter
light.
color
Yeah,
than
dark and
black.
light.
Right. Right. Right.
Those are just things that pop into my, I don't,
Yeah. Yeah, but so with, with Jared Scott, saying what he said, and that really is I mean, that's the biggest hill to get over. But I want to point out that in the Swift case, there was a young man drunk at a party who was telling people that he hit Karen with his vehicle and then hit her body. I talked to him. I talked to the people that witnessed him saying this at the party. And I dismissed it as not being credible because the injuries weren't really consistent with being hit by a car. And I know that the Dyer County Sheriff's Office actually was aware of that as well, and I believe they talked to this person as well. And as I understand it, they also didn't feel that it was credible. And then in the Gary Wayne Sutton case, you had the same thing where there was actually an individual who came into the jail and said, "I did it, arrest me." And they laughed at him and sent him home and told him he was mental. So, it's not unheard of for somebody to say, for whatever reason, that they committed a crime that they didn't commit. In this
okay, here we
particular
go.
case,
Here we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. The National Registry of Exonerations. Data from the National Registry of Exonerations show, sorry, I should put my glasses on so I can see, show that false confessions were a factor in 13% of documented exonerations. That's documented. Project
Mm-hmm.
Innocent, well, that's something else. And what are the reasons behind them? Psychological pressure during interrogations, which is not this case. Youth and mental capacity. Those with limited intellectual capacity are particularly vulnerable. Misleading rights, that's within police, and belief in police authority. Now, they're taking a confession as under the supervision of a police investigation, not somebody talking at a party.
Right.
That's
Yeah, this
totally
is this is a little different because this is him, you
just
know,
chit chatting,
just talking, just trying to talk big,
blow
just trying
smoke.
to appear a certain way, to his buddies, to get some street cred, which
And
was
so if it's 13% in front of an officer, the percentage in front of a party people going to a party is going to be so much higher. So much higher.
right. Other factors, other than being in front of law enforcement. But what's interesting is that I did interview the people that he actually told that he committed this crime, and both of them told me that they did not believe that he did it.
Now, now this is AI speaking, so here we go. Um, 15 to 25% of wrongful convictions in general with higher rates in homicide cases. 20,
Okay.
that's high.
Yeah. Yeah, that is high. Yep. So I see, Heaven, where you said I thought it was allegedly a VL hit. That's what I thought initially, also. But then when I started talking to people, it kept coming back the gangster disciples. So I don't know. I mean, I know that Austin Drummond was allegedly in the Vice Lords, And so I think, there are a lot of common denominators. There are a lot of things that seem to be kind of bleeding over with, the Austin German case and this one. Particularly the prison and the drug bust and the drugs in the kitchen, because Austin had talked about that in his interview that was on. Okay, I am trying to. Oh, okay. All right, let me see here what we got. Um,
Now, it's over here to the right, too. See, there's like 600 different little things.
600 what?
If you hit the bubble underneath you,
Mm-hmm.
you will see it pop up on the right, the chat.
Oh, I'm looking at the chat.
Oh,
I
you're
got it.
sharing your screen. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to X out of all this stuff and it's not, I can't X out of it.
All right.
There we
Oh,
go.
I don't need to share my screen anymore. But yeah, so I am asking for Dyer County, Lake County, surrounding areas. I'm asking for you all to do a little deep dive on this case for yourself. I'll be getting the transcripts here before long, and so we'll talk about it a little bit more. I'm kind of limited how much I can say at this time, because I don't want to share too much about my investigation or the things that are being told to me, or the people who are actually, giving me that information. He was not, Tracy. He wasn't. He was licking his leg. He's more modest than that. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
he's a male.
Yes, but he saves his manscaping for when he's not on YouTube Live.
I'm blurry. But um but Makoshi, just so everyone knows,
This is my dog Makoshi. Here, say hi
he
to
was this
Makoshi.
big. See
Makoshi, say hi.
the size of his head was the size of him when Heather got him.
Oh
And
yeah, he used to sit
he
on my
would
shoulder when I
sit,
drove.
he would sit behind her shoulder in the car. When she drove, he would sit between the seat and her shoulder. He was just a bitty baby. He grew
Baby.
up to be such a big boy, and he protects his mama.
Does. His name's Makoshi. It means my protector, and he understands the assignment.
He does.
Don't you, Bubba?
He's a
Don't
good
you?
boy.
Tell him.
Say, I'm
Tell
a
him.
good boy.
All right. So, guys, so we had a hearing yesterday in Lake County Circuit Court. It was a motion for a new trial. The prosecution forgot that Michelle Basham had been transported to Nashville to the prison, and so they failed to transport her, and so they ended up resetting it for November 25th. I invite all of you to follow this case closely, look at the evidence, and show your support. We need public support on this case. Like so many cases, what are you doing,
I'm
Tracy?
trying to get it to
Oh, to not be blurry. Okay.
and it's not working. Oh, there we
There you
go.
go. Yay. Um,
Yay.
like so many cases, we need to make sure that the public is aware of what is happening, what is going on, and it just, we should all raise our voices and make it known that we absolutely do not, yeah, heaven, it is really far away. We do not agree or approve of people losing their lives, of the system victimizing more people by prosecuting the wrong people. In this particular case, I believe that the information could have been obtained to prove who the real perps of this crime were. I think that getting, doing a little bit of digging, talking to some people like I've done, getting the phone numbers, finding out, again, I'm not going to talk too much about my investigation, but certain individuals, finding out what kind of cars that they were driving at that time, and who their associates are, what gang affiliations they have, so on and so forth. I think there was a lot more that could have been done to look into the theory of the gang hit and find out who actually got paid and carried out that that hit. So that's what I'm working on, guys, and I really do hope that we can have all your support on this case. You guys are great, and we love you and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, sorry. Why do I think they use them as a scapegoat? Heaven, I think it was just easy. I think it was just too easy to hang it on them. It really was. They both had some history, not violent history though. The thing with Jared Scott, he had some criminal history. Michelle had some criminal history, but nothing violent. And I think that should have been taken in consideration also. But I think it was just really too easy. I think the state is desperate, especially after losing the Swift case. And I'm sorry, I guess that was Dyer County, but it's still the same DA's office. So I think that right now they're just trying to get their numbers up and trying to get some convictions under their belt, to get back some credibility, I guess. But all right, guys, we love you. If you have any other questions, let us know. Otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and play our song and start to go out. You guys can keep chatting and we'll answer questions while the music is playing. Okay, hope you enjoy. The song is by Fireball and the Cranksters. It's a friend of mine's band, and I absolutely love it. I really love this song. I hope you like it.
Fire in the hill, in the pines of Idaho, Weaver built his stand. A cabin for his family, a rifle in his hand. Entrapment on a shotgun, the marshals laid the snare. They marked him as an outlaw for choosing to live there. August brought the fire, Sam Weaver hit the ground. His dog was shot beside him, no warning, just a sound. Vicky stood with baby in the cabin door that day. A sniper's round from Horiuchi took her life away. Yeah, the hills turned red, the news turned black, but the Justice Department never looked back. Down in Texas, Koresh preached the end of days. Families gathered faithful in their holy place. But Ross and Cam were whispering to the press, calling them a cult so the feds could make a mess. NBC cameras fear on replay, the ATF itching for a raid that day. Helicopters swarming, tanks broken, children crying loud through the smoke within. Janet Reno's pen made the order true, but Clinton's hand signed the raid through. 82 bodies in the fire remain, charred in the chapel while America was shamed. And the flames rose high, the nation wept, but the broadcast told the lies they kept. The truck exploded, children gone, but one man's face couldn't stand alone. Witnesses whispered of a second hand, a shadow fleeing through the dust and sand. The papers wrote McVeigh bold and clean, but survivors swore there was more unseen. Guided by forces he could never name, a fall guy chosen for a deeper game. A pale horse rider on the radio waves. William Cooper spoke of the grays. Ruby Ridge, Waco, the lies they spun. He warned the world what was still to come. False flags rising, freedom betrayed. 9/11 visions in the words he laid. Branded a madman, hunted, despised, but the truth he told still burns in our eyes. November night, Arizona ground. Police at his door, shots rang out loud. Silenced his voice, but the book remains. Every page carved with the people's pain. Fire in the hills, smoke in the sky. Ruby Ridge shadows where the children died. Waco burned and the city cried, but the truth keeps living though the prophets died. From Clinton's pen to the years ahead, the blood runs deep in the trails of the dead. Fire in the hills, blood in the sand. The people betrayed